responsibility for the attacks. These attacks began in the evening, went on late into the night, and is still on. You see, there are hostages taken in two of the largest hotels, not just in Bombay, but all of India. One is the Taj Mahal Hotel, the other is the Oberoi Hotel. And the attacks have been going on. The foreign tourists and other people have been taken hostage at the Oberoi Hotel on the 16th floor, from where the terrorists can get a better view, and police are finding it hard to go up. The soldiers and the commandos have also taken control of the terrorist operation. In the meantime, however, the state's anti-terrorism squad chief and the additional police commissioner, plus the Bombay police and counter specialists have all died while taking on the terrorists. And so far, the news that we have is approximately 300 people are officially injured and taken to hospital, and 100 people have been shot. This way and that. And many people, who thought they could go to work as usual, are finding it difficult to move around because most of the the streets, major streets, etc., have been blocked. And of course, the other thing that has happened early in the morning today is that a private residential house called where mostly Israelis and Jews stay, that has also been taken over by these terrorists, who obviously came very well planned. And the fact that they came by sea to the gateway of India and came to Taj Mahal Hotel first is obvious on the fact that the police have been able to discover a boat which was full of explosives. And this is it so far, if I can say so, in a nutshell, which obviously means some Americans and some of the other Europeans, you see, are holed up, in these places, and the terrorists are having a wonderful time because they want to grab international attention by keeping them hostage and getting as much news as possible of trying to spread terror. And sporadically, the terror attacks happened in not only the two large hotels, also in the domestic, the firing was there at the domestic airport, in the half of Bombay called Kolaba, and in two hospitals, then 8 other places, and of course the most important railway station called the Victoria Terminus. All of these places, the terrorists, went on the rampage, and the police joined with the commandos, and later on, you see, very late in the night, you see the army also moved into both the Oberoi Hotel and the Taj Hotel, and the fighting, is still on. Gunshots can still be heard, so the matter is not over yet.
Police are stepping up their presence at the entrances of the New York subway system, highlighting a sense of heightened awareness. On Wednesday, U.S. authorities warned of a possible al-Qaeda threat to transit systems in and around New York City. Speaking to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity, the authority briefed on the matter that the threat may be directed at passenger rail lines running through New York. In particular, the federally supported passenger service of the Long Island Railroad, both particularly busy with holiday travelers during Thanksgiving. News of the terrorism alert was received with mixed reactions by subway riders, who have become accustomed to increased security since the September 11 attacks. Many say the threat will likely not change their travel plans.
I don't think it would change my mind because riding the train is kind of so central to getting from point A to point B, regardless of where you are in the city, but it's definitely in the back of my mind.
Everything in human life is a risk, and I'm sure there's lots of threats we don't hear about all the time. Just because we've heard about this doesn't make it any more likely that it's going to happen.
Some riders are wary of impending terrorist threats, which they have stayed home.
A warning, if they let you know ahead of time, I think, that would stop me from going into the system, into the MTA, because, it's scary. There's always that possibility.
New York has remained on orange alert, the second highest level below red since the September 11 attack. The rest of the United States is on yellow alert, one level below orange.
Thailand's Prime Minister Storm2 Wednesday has refused to step down despite army chief's call for new elections. This comes after protests shut down the main airport in the capital Bangkok in a major escalation of the 4-month campaign to oust Storm2.
Just hours after returning from an overseas trip on Wednesday, Thai Prime Minister Storm2 addressed the public on television. He said he will not allow protesters to topple his elected government.
My position is not important, but democratic values are. The rule of law is very important to take care of innocent people in the country, and this government and myself have to protect democracy for the protection of the people of the nation.
The chief of the Thai Army, General Anupong Pachinda, had earlier called a meeting of high-level government officials, academics, and others. After their talks, Anupong suggested the government should give the country's citizens the chance to decide their future by holding a new election. But this solution has also been rejected by the protesters. A spokesman for the protesters said new elections alone will not end the standoff, and he called for Storm2 to resign unconditionally. He added a group will not leave the Suvarnabhumi airport where thousands of passengers are stranded.
I hope that it's going to start shortly because I haven't seen my family for over 6 months and I really want to go back to Germany.
Observers say support for the protesters has been waning, and the opposition group appears to be edging towards bigger confrontations to challenge the government. On Wednesday, assailants threw explosives at anti-government demonstrators in Bangkok, and pro-government supporters clashed with their opponents in the northern city of Chiang Mai.
They have spent their second night at Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi International Airport after protesters shut down it in a major escalation of Thailand's political turmoil. Wednesday's flights were all cancelled and at least 6,000 passengers were stranded. Many were bused to hotels, but thousands were forced to sleep with their belongings in the airport. There was no word on when flights might resume. Tourism makes up 6% of Thailand's economy, which grew at its slowest rate in more than 3 years in the March quarter. Nearly 1,000 Chinese citizens were among those stranded at the airport. Chinese embassy in Thailand said they were taken care of by airlines and travel agencies. The embassy is opening 2 hotlines, as shown on the screen, to provide information and assistance to Chinese citizens in Thailand. The embassy suggested people at home to reconsider their travel plans to Thailand. Airlines in Indonesia, the Philippines, Singapore and Vietnam have cancelled their flights to Bangkok. And officials from the Philippines and Singapore have advised their citizens to postpone their travel to Bangkok, given the uncertainty there.
The makers of Made in China. Oppressed by the doubt about the basic food supply to the people. Yet they forge ahead, disregarding. Step by step, day by day, they are making true miracles. Every moment, we record, we recall.
According to Iraqi law, the draft pact must be passed through the parliament and then the presidency council to be valid. The draft pact states, among other things, that the U.S. troops will withdraw from Iraq cities, towns, and villages to their bases by June the 30th next year, and they will leave the country on the last day of the year 2011. For months, the two countries have been at odds over the agreement. The U.S. needs the pact as a legitimate support for the station of its troops beyond 2008 after current year mandate ends on December the 31st.